Once upon a time, there lived a girl named Grace. She was the only child of her parents. She came from an average home. Grace was a very pretty and intelligent girl. All her teachers loved her, and she had a lot of friends. Her life was perfect. Grace loved to play piano. Growing up, she had always been interested in the piano. She loved listening to the sounds, and she could even play some nice tunes on it. In school, she would join clubs that teach about the piano. One dreadful day, Grace and her parents went for a little outing as a family. On their way back home, they got into an accident. Grace's parents tried to shield young Grace from as much impact as they possibly could. 15 minutes later, the accident scene was discovered by a young couple. They rushed the little family to the hospital. Grace's parents were found dead, but the little girl was still alive. But she had lost her sight. The couple had compassion for the girl, and so paid for all her treatments, and kept her company till she was all better. When little Grace heard that her parents were dead, she cried and cried. She cried for the loss of her parents, her sight, and her life in general. The young couple felt so sad for her. When Grace was fully discharged, she had nowhere to go, and so the young couple decided to take her home with them. A year later, Grace was adopted by the couple. Grace was enrolled into a new school, one for disabled children due to her loss of sight, but she wasn't coping well and her teachers were complaining. This made Grace even more sad. She felt that she had lost everything. The one thing that never changed in Grace's life, though, was her love for pianos. So one day, she begged her adoptive parents to get her piano. They agreed and bought her one, and every day Grace immediately got back from school, she would spend her time on that piano, playing and learning different beautiful tunes. Her parents once asked her why she loved the piano so much, and the little girl simply said, "It makes me happy." 10 years later, Grace grew to be a very popular international piano player. She was very popular for her soft, melodious, and soul-touching tunes. She was blind, but the piano was her way of expressing how she sees the world. It was her passion. She built a mansion for her adoptive parents and always made sure she took care of them. She told her story everywhere she went about her love for the piano and her adoptive parents. She said that those two reasons are what gave her a purpose to live. There are two things you can learn from this story. Firstly, there is nothing more powerful than a person with a passion. Nothing can hold back a passion. When you found your passion, you found your purpose. Secondly, Oprah Winfrey once said, "Passion is energy." Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. In this life, be kind to people. It's important. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to see more from me.